Alright guys, welcome back. This is the second time I've started video for this. Previously I shot video and did the whole welcome back thing. Covered application of Damplifier Pro on the floor. Prior to that, I cleaned up some surface rust back here in the back where the guy took it to the beach. Cleaned that up, hit it with self-etching primer, let that cure, and then threw down my Damplifier Pro. Then I shot video of Heatwave Pro, and my iMac did an update. I lost all of the video I had shot, not just of this vehicle, but everything I have shot previously up to right now. Every bit of it was lost because it was on that 14 terabyte external. So if you guys want to see how I'm applying this stuff, as far as Damplifier Pro, Heatwave Pro, just go look at the Audi video. It's the same process. What I'm doing here with mass loaded vinyl is going to be a bit different because I'm going to have more acoustic energy in this vehicle. So that is unfortunately the way things are right now. I'm just kind of starting fresh with all of my video. To give you guys that haven't followed on social media and aren't aware of what I'm doing here, this is a 2004 Scion XB, and eventually it will have 824s in it. Now I had a lot of people saying you can't fit 624s. I don't know where 6 came from, but you can't fit 6 in that vehicle. I'm like, well, I'm not doing 6, I'm doing 8. So previous to today, as just a way to protect the sub, I've been running around with the SQL-15 in the back of this, but when I would go get wood materials, the cone was likely to get damaged, so I didn't like that. So I built a parallel 6 and I put in, and that parallel 6 did everything I wanted to do. It was nice and windy. People loved that. The SQ, it blended in so well. A lot of times people will tell you that, group delay and blah, blah, blah. They'll look at charts and graphs instead of actually using their ears and listening to something in the vehicle. I put that parallel 6 in, and it blended in so well with the front that I actually had people ask me, is it even on? And that's a great compliment to, they're hearing it, but they're not hearing it here. They're hearing it in the windshield. So you can do SQ at the parallel 6, and that enclosure proved it. Other things as far as SQ in the vehicle I've got going on. In the dash, I have 6.5-inch Stereo Integrity drivers, the TM65 Mark IVs. I put the new tweets, the new M25 tweeters, they are hidden in the A-pillars. And then I have the M3 carbons. They are in the doors and will eventually be hidden in the doors. With those 3 things happening up front, I've had people tell me that's not going to work well because the separation between the mid and the tweet, it's too great, and they're not going to hand off well to one another. Female vocals are going to suffer. I'm like, okay, cool, we'll just be stuck listening to male vocals, I guess. I don't know. But everyone that's gotten the vehicle has been absolutely impressed with it, and it's doing all of the things that it should do, being built in all of the ways it shouldn't, I guess. So it's a lot of fun. The great thing about it is, since I have 6.5s in the dash, 3s in the doors, and tweets in the pillars, the stage cannot physically pull down. You can't hear a deep male vocal down by your feet. It just doesn't pull down. It's all right here in front of you, which is killer. So that is the front side of SQ. The reason everything is apart right now is because I decided to step up from my parallel 6, the SQL-15 and the parallel 6. I decided to step up to a pair of Stereo Integrity's IBHS24s built for IB. And if you guys have seen the video on the Audi build and how windy and crazy it is, that is just the IB24 that has 30mm one-way linear excursion. What I'm putting in here, the HS24s, will have 38 one-way linear and over 4 inches peak-to-peak travel. So those are going in here. They're going in IB, and I'm going to pop up an image on screen here and show you. If you take a look, you can see the blue area is cabin space. The red area is behind the drivers. So that is essentially what you're going to see here when the hatch is open. It's just vented to the exterior of the vehicle. So the way this works is just a B-pillar wall with the 24s there, and you can see that the infinite baffle, the opening that I need to get everything to vent to the exterior of the vehicle, is below the sub there. Now this is just a rough sketch, so don't beat me up on it, but this is horn loaded. So what I mean by horn loaded, I don't mean I'm designing a horn. I'm horn loading the front wave of that sub in the blue area. I'm horn loading that, and that is a natural amplification of sound. You see this in CRXs, you'll see it in the 3rd gen Camaro. You can take the cheapest 10 you want to get, put it on a baffle, throw it in the back of the 3rd gen Camaro, and with minimum effort it hammers. It's loud just because it's horn loaded off of the hatch of that 3rd gen Camaro. Well, I'm going to horn load the output of these 224s on this B-pillar wall, and I'm going to have a very small cabin space up front to play the output into, so it should be pretty loud. So that is the plan. To get to that point, I needed to fully treat the interior because I am doing SPL and SQ with this. So for SQ purposes I wanted to do this, and for SPL purposes I needed to do it. For those that don't know, I'm giving myself 1 week to get this built and done. I started essentially the 22nd. Today is now the 24th. And my goal is to have everything built and playing on the 1st. And this is where I am now. For me to compete in SPL, it's required that I have a headliner. And I have the one that I took out here, obviously. So I've got to get that in. And if I'm going to put that in, I want to wrap it and make it nice and all that stuff. Other updates up to this point since I lost video. That's about it. I want to take you guys over here and give you a walkthrough of what the vehicle looks like now. You can see the Heatwave Pro back here, my cutouts for the seats. Again, there's the Kenwood 1037. There are no speakers in the doors except for the 3s that are right here, and you can see that there. So I've got some steel mesh. This is my grill, and all of this will get wrapped in upholstery material. You'll never see this, you won't know they're there. Just as with my A-pillars, you don't see the tweeters, but they are there. I had people say that that location, the tweeters, they looked really high. That location is going to cause the stage to be high, and it's not going to blend well with the 3s. Well, if you look at a car that runs a simple two-way setup like a 6 and a tweet, your 6s are in the doors and your tweets are pretty much at the sail panel. The separation I have between my 3 and tweet is less than you would have between the 6 and tweet. So then you can get into arguments about handing off between 3 and tweet and handing off between 6 and tweet and which is better. Are you going to know, especially when you can't see it? No. So I've had this out. I've let guys do SQ listening with it, and they were absolutely impressed with it because it sounds so good doing all of the wrong things. The build doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but it sounds great. And I'm looking forward to what it can do when I actually put my own tune on it, because I was just running a simple auto tune on the Mini DSP CSP 8x12DL. So I was going to start shooting video of the install process of this mass loaded vinyl, but what I'm going to do is go ahead in this video here, and then the next video, because we're already 10+ minutes into this one, next video will actually show how I'm sound treating this as far as noise blocking with the mass loaded vinyl. And then as things progress, I'll have even more sound treatment to go in the floor pan of this. So see you guys next time.